Hi everyone, this is Kelly from The Truth in Story, and we are going to be talking about runes, if you can't tell. We're going to get into all of this stuff shortly, but I wanted to show you what I was doing right this minute, and that as a sort of lead-in, and then we're going to start discussing some more information about runes and getting into runes. But one of the neat things about runes is making your own set of runes. Now I have a set of runes right here that I made off of just real light wood. They're so light they don't really feel substantial, and it doesn't not quite what I want. I also have a set of stones that I've had for roughly, maybe 8 years or so. 8 to 10 years, and these are gorgeous. I quite love them. The only issue I have is that with the Elder Futhark, which we're going to talk about what that is, with that there are reversals to the runes, and I don't find it to be overly clear with mismatched sizes and shapes, and it's, some are at the very top are flat, but they're here, so they don't always seem to end up flat like that, so and so on and so forth. I don't find these to be quite as clear as something like this, where there's a very definitive top and a bottom. So I decided to make a set of runes here. And what I have purchased in order to do so is a box of Super Sculpey. Now I got the medium blend. They have this is polymer clay. You bake it when you're done, and it hardens itself up, so it can stay out here like this until I'm ready to bake it, and it will stay soft. Well, soft is a relative word. This is the medium blend, so it's a little bit firmer, so that what you cut into it stays pretty solid and doesn't kind of sink in like the softer one might. The details show up a little bit more, but mostly I bought this because I wanted this gray tone in a big chunk instead of in a bunch of little ones, and so that way I could use. I had a 50% off coupon, and I wanted to. It was my best monetary bet to purchase. So this ended up costing me, for this whole box, which is 1 pound of gray polymer clay, ended up costing me $7.50 for this. And then the other thing that I purchased for 50% off was a set of oval metal cutters. So it comes in a variety of sizes of metal, like cookie cutters. I'm using the second largest one here to make my runes. This was $7, I believe, and with 50% off, so $3.50. So $7, $8, $9, $10.50-ish is what I'm going to pay for my set of runes. I don't know if it will use all this or not. I may have more to be able to make other things. We'll see when this is all done. So what I've done is I have already rolled out and cut these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So basically the runes are broken into 3 sets, the Elder Futhark. And the first set are Freya's, and then there's a set of 8 that are Freya's, that have a lot to do with nurturing. Hagel's 8, which are about introspection, and then Tyr's 8, which are about warrior or kingship virtues. So I have one set of 8 already cut out here. This all that you're seeing is from, so I'm not sure how many I get total, is from one of these, and I have 1, 2, 3 more, so there's 4. So it's a 1/4 of a pound. So we'll see what I get out of a 1/4 and a pound, and that will tell us. But I for sure have enough to do them, because I know obviously I've got the one set of 8 already. This was quite firm. My son did a lot of work with Sculpey, and it definitely warms up, with your hands. This medium blend, which is a little bit firmer than the other, I did zap it in 10 seconds in the microwave. And then another 10, and another 10, so 30 seconds total, but with kind of rolling it in between to get it soft enough to roll out. But I don't have super big hand strength either. So that's what I've done, and I've rolled it out here, and so then I'm obviously going to cut. I have something in that, I'm not sure what it is, but I'm going to avoid that. And I tried to get it, close to the same thickness as the other ones, which I think I did pretty good. But again, it's handmade. It doesn't have to be exact, and that's kind of, and you wouldn't even need a cookie cutter. A lot of people just kind of roll roll it out and then kind of smush it into the right shape. But I did want it to be somewhat uniform, which is why I chose to cut mine out. So you're basically just going to cut your shapes out, and then I'm going to use the end of, I'll show you in 1 second. Let's get these cut out. Now that's pretty good size-wise. Let's see. How can I best? No, I'm just gonna. Obviously, I can roll the rest of this into the next batch. 3, 4, 5. That's getting a little bit lower. So I'm actually. I don't know what that is. I'm trying to get that out of there. But this is already kind of starting to, like, I rolled down more. So I'm going to actually leave it there. And then I will roll this into the next bunch of it. But what I then did is find something kind of sharp or thin. And so the end of one of my paintbrushes kind of goes to this thin point. And so what I'm going to do is carve, obviously, the rune into it. So the very first rune, you can also leave a blank one. That is a modern rendition for weird, which I will talk about again. This is just a strange introduction. I am going to leave a blank one, but the first one that I'm going to draw in will be Fehu. And so I'm going to just kind of see about where I want to begin and end, and then I'm going to draw a short one up and then a longer one up, and that is going to be my Fehu. So obviously I'm going to do this with each one of my runes, and I can then draw with black permanent marker or black paint inside of them after they bake. But that is how I am going to make each of my runes. So that is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do that, and then I will be right back. Okay, here they are all done. They have not been baked. I will come back and show you them baked. But I thought I would just do a quick rundown of these, and then we're going to talk about, again, I know I'm kind of, as always when I'm doing crafty things, a lot of times I'm kind of going backwards to forwards because we will talk about these more in depth. But here we have Fehu, which is for the letter F. We have Uraz, which is for the letter U, or like under or food, U sound. We have Thurisas, which is thorn, TH sound. We have Anzus, which is a god, but this is the sound for A, for apple, awful, that kind of thing. Here we have, here we have Raidu, which is for ride, which is the R sound. We have Kauna, which is the K sound, or the hard C. We have Gebo, Gebo, I think it's Gebo, more like Gebo, which means gift, which is the G, hard G sound. Also used sometimes for the CH, the hard CH, like lock. We have, here we have Wunyo, which is the W, and also I think the V sound. Here we have Hagalaz, which is for H sound. We have Naudis, which is for need, which is the N in like need or name. Here we have Isas, which is the I sound. We have Yera, which looks like a J, but it's pronounced with the RY, but it does also work for J, so J's and Y's. Here we have Ahaz, which is for I sounds, like fly and bright. It stands for U tree. Here we have Aperdo, which is for the P sounds. Here we have Agis, which is for the Z sound, or even the S sound, like in cousin. Here we have the Saula, which is maybe Saula, for sun, for S, the S sound or the soft C sound. We have Tiwas for the T sound. We have Berkan for the B sound. We have Awas for the E sound. We have Manes for the M sound here. We have Lagus for the L sound. We have Ingwas for the NG sound. And we have Dagas for the D sound. And lastly, we have Othala for the O sound. And then the blank one is for, again, a modern addition, but I do like to use it, and it is for the idea of weird or fate or destiny that we are creating all the time. We'll talk about that in a minute. So there we have them, all of them. They are not all perfect, but that's okay because they are handmade, which is kind of the point of this. So what I'm going to do is fire these up and cook them, and I will show them to you after they are done having been baked. Okay, here they are. They have been baked. I haven't sanded them yet or anything. Like, I could sand the edges and things and clean them up a little bit. I could also take black, go in it with like black permanent marker to make them stand out, but I actually feel like these stand out really well. Just, I got a mess everywhere. And they're not perfect, you know, that's okay. Some of the backs are, that's the weird one. Yes, there are some imperfections there, and that's just what makes it my particular set of runes versus somebody else's. Like, there's something got into the clay here, and I don't even know what it is. I can't even feel it. I have another one that firing, but you know, I just made that just maybe what that one is, and it will always be that way. I kind of think I should have made it slightly smaller. These seem quite large, but when you think about, you know, a lot of times you're just pulling 3 runes. In terms of using them for people, it is nice to have those stand, you know, be a little bit larger, because they're really not, they're about the same height as these, are just wider. So no, actually I think I'm happy with it. So there you go. That was just using, I just used half of this. So you could definitely do, and there's a little bit left over, but not much. So the, so 8 ounces, right, would have been enough of this to make this size, which is about 1 3/4 inches. Tall and not quite 1 1/4 inches wide, a little under 1 1/4 inches wide, and so 8 ounces of that made this size set. So there we have it. I'm going to put these away. These are my ones, and put these back into order and start, as I said, I'm kind of working front to back, as happens. Thankfully I have random little boxes everywhere, and work my way, put things back into order, and then let's talk about why am I doing all of this.